Jolene, Jolene. Shaka, bruh. There's so much light behind me. It makes it hard. Focus the camera. The camera looks grainier than usual. Man, I don't even know what be going on right now. Let me make sure video is even on the YouTubes. Make sure it's even got audio. All the usual good stuff that we like to do here whilst we are getting ready for a stream. No ordinary scholar. I need a theme song. I should write and sing my own theme song. It's up. The video is up. And I am being heard. Rock a hula. Also, I don't know why it looks so grainy this time around. Maybe it's just my computer. Maybe my computer's tired. I don't know. It was dead a little bit ago, and then I decided to plug it in. So who knows? Maybe it's my fault. Also, continuity error 101. I am wearing a different shirt than I was for my thumbnail because I took the thumbnail picture and then I was like, my stomach's cold. I don't want to wear a crop top anymore. I was going to try and find like a long sleeve or sweatshirt, but like I'm wearing green sweatpants and I don't know. I still wanted to wear something dark, but nothing felt like it would match wearing green sweatpants. So I put on a plain black t-shirt. And that's where we are today. I'm not sure if you've noticed. Probably have because there's all of the glare on my glasses, but I'm wearing glasses now. And these aren't like the lensless glasses, the lensless broken glasses that I was using for the day bits. These are like prescription glasses because I have really, really terrible vision. I wasn't wearing contacts before. I just couldn't see until like this Monday. Monday is when these glasses came in. So now I'm able to see. I'm embracing my inner Professor Trelawney with these round spectacles, but I think they look solid. I think that look cute. Let me know down in the comment section how y'all's quarantines are going. It's been a rough time over on this side. I've panic attacks basically every day. We went to the grocery store and got some like random multivitamins that are supposed to calm stress. One of them seems to be working, so I have like 2 bottles of random stuff now. We'll see if I can just find some way to convince myself to keep using those. But yeah, that's where my thing has been. I have more time though because of quarantine. The job I work at is not shutting down throughout all of this. So it is deemed like super important to the nation. So we are going to be staying open. So that means I'm still going to be working, but hours have been cut severely. So I do have a bit more time, which means there's going to be a bit of a change, a bit of a, not necessarily a change, but like a little bit of difference with one of these streams because there's really only going to be 1, maybe 2 streams within this period of time because like Hawaii's quarantine is set until the end of April. So in that period of time, I think I'm only doing 1 or 2 more streams. So I'm going to take advantage of that. But let's start with this stream right here. I told you guys not last week, but the last stream 2 weeks ago that we were going to be doing a stream about Archie versus Sharknado. And yeah, I read Archie versus Sharknado, got basically what I was expecting. Lots of questions, primarily along the terms of why is that a thing, but it's here. And I honestly wanted to start this by discussing the problems that I have with this damn Riverdale show. You're not getting like any of my hand gestures, and those are the best parts of my videos. It's like my hand gestures. Like my right hand is completely cut off. We're just gonna fidget. That's better. But we're gonna talk about my feelings for this Riverdale show because I got some strong ones. So let's all start out with, like, let's understand. God, my cats are losing their damn mind right now. Who is it? Chestnut, I know it's you. Freaking going crazy, throwing himself against things. Hey, Zeus. But let's all just be aware. We all understand that Riverdale, as a TV show, it is not a show based on the Archie comics. It's not. It is literally someone had a story that they really wanted to tell, but they felt like the only way they would actually be able to get it to gain any traction was if they used the names of Archie characters. That's exactly what happened with this show. Like, the first season was fine. It felt like it was like the Archie show, and then Betty and, like, by the way, spoilers. There are going to be some spoilers in this little rant that I'm giving to you right now, but there's usually spoilers in these streams, so you should be used to it, my friends. But, like, Betty and Jughead get together, which Jughead is not the lovable jackass. He used to be my favorite character from the Archie comics, but he is not as much of a lovable jackass in this show, and that hurts my feelings. But Betty and Jughead get together, and then now none of these characters are like the original characters. Like, the main idea of that entire comic series was basically you had, like, 2 women primarily, but oftentimes 3 women fighting over this guy, and now, no, they're all in happy relationships. No one cares. What? God, because they wanted to do something dramatic. They wanted to put some high schoolers in tense situations, and 13 Reasons Why already had the realistic ones. So they're like, we're just going to give them, like, their own relationships. Everyone's going to be fine. But now it's nothing like the characters. And it's like, they're like, they did have, like, thinking on it without having read, like, the comics, they felt like just standard teenage characters. But, like, after reading Archie vs. Sharknado, I went back. We have Comixology, which is, like, we have a subscription with Comixology. It's a site app thing that has just a bunch of comics and graphic novels all on their servers. And with Comixology Unlimited, you get certain comic books just for free that you can just constantly read whenever you feel like it. So with that subscription, we were able to get, like, this book that's 1,000 pages of Archie comics. And I read it, and I'm like, what are you talking about? There's so much personality. Betty is, not only is she a tomboy, but she's, like, fucking super genius savant. Like, she does some crazy stuff, but she can basically build, rebuild, repair anything. She's smart. She's good with her hands. She can, like, put things together, fix things. She is strong mechanically. Veronica, while she is kind of like she's a bit of a priss, she's a bit sensitive, she's a bit neat and tidy, she is the girly girl, but she can still take care of herself anytime she likes. She just doesn't feel like it. She's just like, I would much rather, like, get new clothes, get makeup, and keep myself clean than have to go into survival mode, but if need be, I will go there. And then Cheryl is, like, the girly girl that doesn't know how to take care of herself. And Archie is kind of a dork. He's like kind of the innocent guy that happens to have these chicks, like, falling in love with him. Also, by the way, I'm, like, fairly certain this is, like, a community of swingers is also a thing that they're missing in Riverdale. Because literally, like, again, I was reading this, like, set of comics of Archie comics, and you see, like, Veronica go over to Archie, and she's like, Archie, baby, love of my life, I need help getting this toy before Christmas for my niece. And then Reggie comes over, and he's like, I can get you the toy. And she starts making out with Reggie. She's like, oh my God, Reggie, you're my hero. And, like, that's just basically what goes on in the Archie comics. And it, like, genuinely, it is a town of swingers, which That could have been dramatized very well, in my opinion, but I digress. So you have these characters, again, like I said earlier as well, Jughead was such a lovable jackass. His hat was his most important thing to him in the world. He felt like he was the greatest guy out there. He's like not a nerd, but kind of a geek. Like, he wasn't a jock, but he was still like a little scrawny, but he still felt like he was the coolest guy in school without a doubt. And I love Jughead so much. He was great. But now they've honestly kind of boiled them down in Riverdale. It feels to like 90210 characters, like generic 90210, this is what a high schooler is kind of character, when like in reality they do have like all of these different kinds of personalities. Yeah, maybe we can't all build a helicopter out of nothing, but that's still like someone can build things. I can build things. I've built a robot before. So that was one thing that was like the base understanding of Riverdale is Riverdale has basically nothing to do with the Archie comics except for the names. Spending out money for new ideas, but that also might be because I am an author myself and I don't write fan fiction, so I'm getting left out here. The first season again was fine. I found it interesting, but then like the second season happened, and the second season was bullshit. So you had this killer, and I've said this before when you're talking about a mystery. With a mystery, for it to be a decent mystery, the audience has to have some ability to try and figure it out. The audience has to have a chance to try and see who it is, and then just be like, oh my god, how did I not see it? So you introduce the character at some point during the story, and like that, and so then they can be like, oh my god, how did I not see it? But what they did here was they had a killer, and the killer says, I live in your town. And so I think the writers thought that was enough to be like, oh my god, now they're like looking at all the town members, and that's totally enough to make them think, oh my god, it could be anyone in the town. What? How did I not know it was this person in the town? Except the issue is the character that is the killer literally was not introduced as a character until like an episode or two before they were revealed. Like, what happens is it's the killer is an old man with like blue eyes, I think. The only old man that has ever showed up on screen is the cop. And so of course we're all like, it's the cop. And then like just before the season ends, or at least like the first part of the season, I don't remember, something happened, something weird was going on with that, I don't remember. But like just before this quote unquote section of the season that was available ended, they like introduced this janitor who is an old guy with blue eyes, and I'm like, the nerve. If they actually had the audacity to make this the killer, I quit because that was the killer. And that's so much of a waste of my time. I'm trying to think along this. I'm trying to like invest myself in your story, in the world that you're presenting to me, and then you cheat by making it someone that you literally have not shown in this entire story until right before, and you're still gonna try and pat yourself on the back, make you feel like you're smart, like you did something, like you had this great mystery planned when you were just cheating. It's like literally playing hide and seek with someone and then moving to another state and be like, oh my god, you never found me because you cheated. What? We're not playing in the whole US, guy. I don't got that kind of gas money. But I digress. No, like that show frustrated me. I actually do make a joke on it because I'm working on this book series. First book's supposed to come out next month. The second book of it, I do make like kind of a mystery joke. I do kind of make some jokes based on like this kind of thing because it frustrates me so much every time. Because I admit, when there is a mystery that just went over my head and like I had no idea. Like in my favorite book series ever, The Sisters Grimm, the like overall series mystery like broke me. I had no idea what was going on. It threw me. I was shaken. I was freaking out. I admit, when you've won, but this is a cheat. I was gypped and you are a brat. It's like unfair writing is the most frustrating thing for me. And so that's why I stopped watching Riverdale. Now, on to this comic book that I read. I'm going to go over like a full explanation for those who may have just never seen any of the Sharknado movies, never heard of them, no idea what I'm talking about, what language I'm speaking. So, the like Sharknado movies is basically like you have, it's not really even a tornado, it's a hurricane, but like Sharkacane was bothering Miss Monster, so we couldn't use that name. Oh, all of the Masked Singer jokes. But so we got a Sharknado is basically a hurricane. It's got water, it's got wind, but it's also picked up some sharks, and so they're just flying around in it. And sharks are like aggressive, or at least everyone believes them to be aggressive. I feel like in reality, a shark, if it's getting flown around in the wind, it's A, going to die, and B, if it does survive, it's just going to be so fucking scared because it's not used to that. So, but we're pretending that they are going to all be like hungry and man-eating and want to kill everyone. So you've got this like hurricane filled with sharks just destroying cities because A, it's also a hurricane still, and those destroy cities, and then you have these sharks that are just going to kill people. And you're doing that, and that's basically the plot of it. It's eating people, it's destroying towns, and everyone's scared, and no one really knows how to deal with it, and until the end. So in Archie vs. Sharknado, Betty and Veronica are with Veronica's dad. He is off on a business ordeal out in Washington, D.C. They go with him, and a Sharknado comes up. He gets eaten. Betty and Veronica are like fighting their way around D.C. to try and survive. Betty like finds like a broken helicopter, and she's like, I can repair it in like a couple minutes. And we have to go back to Riverdale to warn everyone before the dance. We also have to get to Riverdale, because if we're not there, who is Archie going to take to the dance? So they get to Riverdale. They're too late. The Sharknado's already come. And they have to now try and save Archie and this group of people that were out in Cheryl's yacht for a before party, some pregame for the dance. And they're trying to save them. Now we just gotta save them now and stop this Sharknado before it destroys the school right before the dance. There's a lot of blood, there's a lot of murder, they're aggressive. You have these two like nerdy characters that are falling in love as they discover how to like destroy the Sharknado, and they kill Sabrina the Teenage Witch, who apparently started out on Archie. I didn't know that. He told me that apparently like Sabrina the Teenage Witch just started out as an Archie character, which feels weird to me, but why introduce magic all of a sudden? But I don't know, I didn't write it. So the way that they do end up destroying the Sharknado, what is they blow it up, which is basically what they do in the movie. They blow it up, and it's supposed to like change the temperament of the Sharknado to the point of it dissipating. It like messes with the temperature, so it's not it's not like the air. Because I think what technically like a tornado or a hurricane, stuff like that is supposed to be like there's a lot of like different temperatures fighting each other in ones, and they just got to a point where now they're spinning. I don't know. That's what they're supposed to be in these movies. And so, because, like if you have like hot and cold, they like and they just go separate directions. Yes. Science. I don't know, man. I wasn't expecting this lesson here, but they blow up the tornado, and everyone's happily ever after. Archie ends up going to the dance with Cheryl, but Betty and Veronica are like, she can have him this time because, you know, we can take care of ourselves right now. With this Sharknado, she needs someone to protect her. We Gucci. And that's my favorite bit of this entire thing was that, like, one shark ends up, like, Jughead is facing a shark. He bites the shark, but the shark takes his hat and he's like, no, I'm gonna jump into this tornado and I'm gonna get my hat back. And he gets his hat back. This is the stuff that makes me love Jughead. So, honestly, was it a great experience? It was only like 60 or so pages. So it wasn't painful, but it wasn't like extremely pleasant either. It was very cringy, is what I'd like to say. But it did give me kind of a boost into checking out more of the Archie comics, and I do really love those comics. Those are so good. Like, I don't know, some of them are they're just funny and quirky and relaxing to read. Like, for instance, one of them was Moose, who's this big, muscular, pretty dumb guy who's like at the mall, and he sees a guy and he sees a mall Santa who is Archie, and he's like, oh my god, Santa! And Reggie's jealous because that mall Santa's Archie, and he's getting girls to sit on his lap and he's flirting. So Reggie pulls Moose aside and he's like, hey, that's Archie. You gonna let Archie just get your girl like that? And Moose is like, are you sure that's Archie? Yeah, that's Archie. Go, like, rip his beard off, kick his ass. So Moose goes, rips the beard off. What do you know? Archie switched shifts with his teacher, so Moose is assaulting the teacher. Teacher's like, hey, I know your punishment. You're gonna be Santa for the rest of the week. Moose is like, oh my god, you call that a punishment? I get to be Santa? I get the honor? And so he puts on the costume, and then, like, Reggie finds out Archie switched shifts, so he's gonna go rat to Santa, who he thinks is a teacher, and be like, hey, Santa, Moose is crazy. He hates Santa Claus. He's gonna come assault you. And Moose is like, what'd you say? You trying to get me in trouble? And then he beats up Reggie. And, like, I just find that so wholesome and adorable to just read. Is like all of these like switcheroony type things that I just find it fun. I just find it like very nostalgic of my childhood and what childhood me thought like high school and being an adult would be like, which like just quirky and like fun, and we're all having fun. We all love each other. That's not what ended up happening, but like, you know, these comics still give me a little bit of hope for that. And hope is a little bit of what we need right now. So that was Archie versus Sharknado. If you do have like a Comixology subscription, I definitely suggest checking out like one of those, because there are a ton of those sets of Archie comics that you can get for free with Comixology. I think it's only like $7 a month. I'm not sponsored. I wish. It was only like, I don't have enough viewers or subscribers to get that kind of thing. But I do think you should check it out. There's some fun graphic novels, some fun comics. It's a hoot. It's a hoot. Let me know as well in the comments down below on Instagram, any of the usual stuff. If you think that I should actually like try reviewing like movies and TV shows, because that was something I was considering doing, like doing a stream where I would like do the same style of review for a movie, for like a season of a TV show. At the moment, if I were to do that, it would just take place of one of these book streams, because like I am still working, and whenever things get back to normal, whenever that may be, I definitely do not have the time to add on a stream. But whenever I am able to fund myself solely off of the YouTube and writing and whatnot, whenever I'm able to fund myself just off of those, I will have way more time. And I will love to add like another stream, so I could do one stream a week. And one of them could be like a movie, or maybe if I was reading a graphic novel, that doesn't take too long, so I could read a graphic novel and then another, something like that. So I can just have more options, spend some more time with you guys. There's a cat here now. This is the one. This is Chestnut, and he's the one that's been freaking out all day. He's so cute. He is very cute. He is a very cute kitty cat. He's so cute. So that was something I was considering. Let me know if you guys would like that. One of the things I definitely do think I want to look into is The Lion King. I don't know if I would want to do both in a like review of the original and one of the remake, but I definitely want to check out the remake because I haven't seen it yet. Don't necessarily want to, but I feel like if I'm going to talk to you guys about it, then that would give me a good excuse to force myself to watch it. Don't get me wrong, I love me some Beyonce, but just that setting, that whole situation just makes me cringe thinking about it. I would love to do one on the new Mulan. I did a couple videos where I mentioned how I'm not looking forward to it, but like, we can discuss these things. If I were doing movies, we could discuss these things. But again, it would take place of just one of these every other week videos for right now. Maybe after this book launches, we'll go places and I can have more time to like spend time with you on stream. But for right now, I ain't got nothing but time. I got 3 cats and no time. Other than that, let me tell you the book that I do want to read. And this is where my whole things are going to be slightly different for now that I have some time due to this quarantine and my hours being cut. I usually don't tend to read like eyes to word books lately because I've honestly just been super overwhelmed with publishing this book that I'm getting through, that I'm writing. I've been so overwhelmed with that, and my work. I work so much, and it messes with my sleep schedule so bad that it's just hard to get time during the week to do all of my work, including and then sit down and read 200 or 300 pages straight. But again, now I have more time. We're closing earlier, so I have a more consistent, healthy sleep schedule. So I am going to be reading a physical book, print to the page, and I want to read The Martian. It's got this movie bestseller. I heard so many amazing things about it. There is, I believe, the movie they made off of it won awards. Donald Glover was apparently in that movie. I don't know. That's what The Masked Singer said. So I'm checking it out. I've been honestly meaning to read this book and get to this book since high school, but now is really the first time I've actually gotten to it. So this is actually going to be a book I know the general plot of the story, but I've never read it. I've seen the movie, so this is one of those books that like is completely new to me. I know technically I would have read Kill Shakespeare, but like while we have this time that I have a little bit more time to read some stuff, I'd like to get to it. So we're gonna read The Martian for the next book. Hope you guys have enjoyed your time here, but until next time, valedictions, friends. Demonetized.